Hi there, my name is Odin, and I promised you to show you a run with the new iStill 500 next generation. So that's what we're going to do today, a run with a new 500. First, let's recapitulate a little bit what we changed on the 500. You remember the old 250 and 500, right? They were robotized and automated. The robot only had like 34 positions it could choose from. What we now have is a robot that can make as many as 1,000 decisions. So it's much more refined and it's much faster due to a new column design, new packing, improved isolation and an improved overall boiler and column design. That's what we're going to show you, how much that improves or helps improve performance. And we're going to do that by looking at the menu a bit, starting her up, then looking at the output numbers in terms of ABV and in terms of liters or gallons per hour. So let's dive into the menu first. As you can see on this edition, you can choose for heating, pot distilling and robot distilling. Heating is interesting because it allows you to preheat your boiler. So let's say you want to start working at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. Here you can dial in, for instance, the boiler heating up time, and for instance change it towards 7 o'clock as it is right now. And if you do that, it will start to heat up until, in this case, 80 degrees Celsius. So by the time you come in at 8:30 in the morning, all of a sudden you can start distilling right away. You didn't lose any time on heating up. Now that's for heating up. We can also do pot distilling, but today I want to show you robotized distilling. So we're not going to look at pot distilling, we'll do that on a big unit. We're going to look at a robotized version of distilling and how that works. This is how the screen looks like. It's visual. You can see that the boiler temperature is 58.3, base of the column 46, and towards the top of the column we see two temperatures of around 25-26 degrees, the cooling temperature all the way up. No ethanol boiling point is calculated yet. Actually no process, no distillation process has ever even been started. Why not? Because we didn't push start. Before we do that, let's go to the settings. No difficult menu, very easy. You choose a heat up power, let's say 100%. We choose a run power, let's say 65%. We dial in a temperature for force, that's until what temperature it collects force. We may want to put on heads and stabilize for heads. Or we just go to hards until a certain temperature in measurement and we stabilize again for 15 minutes. The quiet zone is like what we used to call the tolerance settings. It's how refined do you want your rig to run. 0.3 is pretty much perfect. And in this case we also have tails takeoff. It's currently off. If we push it for a second, it's on. Why do we push it for a second? Because we do not want you to brush it and by coincidence dialing it in or not. For now, I leave it off. Heads are off, tails are off. We're going to do some force cutting and we're going to make heads at 96.5% at an amazing 20 liters per hour. 20 liters per hour, that is twice as much as on the old machines. I think that's a huge increase in performance and you can benefit from that. That's all there is to it. You dial in a few temperatures, you dial in 2 stabilization times, and you dial in power settings. Or you don't do it at all, you leave it as it is. Let's start the run. How? Very easy. Push start, and all of a sudden you see the heaters are on. You can see that the needle valve is ready to start working. You can also see that we set the current heat up goal at 45 degrees Celsius. So by the time the column is heated up to 45, not at the bottom, but somewhere near the top, it will switch automatically from the 100% power input for a fast heat up time towards an actually 65% run percentage. And 65% is around 12 kilowatts, 3 kilowatts more than the old units. Doesn't explain why we can produce twice as much. It also explains that we are much more efficient in this new system. That's it for now. We'll wait a few minutes, I think around 20-25 minutes until the boiler is heated up, and then we'll show you how we'll heat up the column, how force are taken, and how the production actually looks like. Alright, we're almost there. You can see that hard stabilization started, as it says here. We've still got 6 minutes remaining before ethanol boiling point will be calculated and production actually starts. You can see that the temperature is rising, 79.3 in the column, 84 in the bottom of the column, and 90.4 in the boiler. So it's like, not sure, around a 17, 18, 19% wash that we've got in there. Low wines, heads and tails, just for test running. But there's alcohol in there. We're going to harvest that at 96.5% for the fun and for the video. Cooler, you can see the blue dot came on. This means that the cooling actually switched on. Cooling temperature water is 24.4. You can also see that the heaters are not on 100% but 65% because they go on and off. 5 more minutes and then we'll start to take hearts. So that's when we'll be back. So you can now see that there's only 1 minute of heart stabilization left, a little bit less even, 40 seconds, 35 seconds. And I want you to pay attention to the needle valve because it will start to open on us in about 30 seconds from now. We'll probably skip it out, so if you watch it, it will go quicker. Anyhow, look here and see how the numbers are changing. And from that moment onwards, we're going to do some performance tests and see how much it produces. See it open, 100, 130, 160, all the way up to 235 because that's what we dialed in as a starter setting. And this is it, guys. We're now starting to take vodka pure ethanol at 96.5%. You can see that the boiling point is calculated 79.2. As long as it's within 0.3 of that, it will start to collect and even open further. Remaining time is 2 minutes. This means that we dial in that every 2 minutes it will look again. If the column is stable, it will open the needle valve more. If the column is not stable enough, it will close it down a little bit. So we're collecting pure ethanol, and by the time we were doing that, you could see that actually the opening of 235 went to 245. Why is that? Because the first cycle of 2 minutes was gone. It looked into the system and decided like, hey man, things are running so incredibly smoothly. Let's open up from 235 to 245 to speed up collection because what comes out is 96.5%. So guys, here we are. We showed you our rigs and how exceptionally well they perform. Opening is currently at 305. Within a minute it will probably go to 315 because the run is incredibly stable. It has to do with the new design, with all the improvements we've made, but also with the new packing that we use. It's heavier, it can retain more energy, and because it retains more energy, it's more stable to run. Hey, we'll talk more very soon. A run with a 2000 and a run with a 100. And also I'll update you on all the design changes that we did and how you benefit from that, from the new innovation round that we did. That's it for tonight. Thanks for watching us and keep watching us on iStill TV. See you soon. As you can see, still standing on the bottom, so it's well over 96.5. We can't pour in more, unfortunately, otherwise it will overflow, but you get a good idea of the percentage, I guess, right?